The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
The Local Show with Tom and Steve is the place that all the small businesses hang out with, and some larger businesses too. They hang out with us so we can tell their story, and sometimes they tell it in their own words, Steve.
They do.
Yeah.
And they can read numbers without inverting them and complete sentences, things I'm not used to, Tom.
Very good. Shawn Dupree is with us right now. He's the owner of Top Notch Roofing. Has it been difficult, Shawn, to get on top of roofs with all the rain?
What rain?
Yeah, it's been tough dodging the rain this spring. It's been a odd spring for sure.
Yeah, this isn't what you're normally used to. Well, better than dodging snow, I guess.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
But do you do anything differently if you are working in like a misty water thing? Do you have to wear special different boots or different things, or
no, nothing like that.
Careful?
You got to be careful. When things are wet and slick.
Yeah,
you got to have tarps handy in case
it gets worse.
It gets worse, and you don't have something dried in. You got to get it tarped up quick, and we try not to work in those kind of conditions. But sometimes a storm can just pop up. It wasn't in the forecast. We know forecasts.
Sure.
We know the history of forecasts around here.
Right.
It's true.
They're not great.
No, it's true.
When you take off the old shingles, and then you have to have like dumpsters and all that kind of stuff, is there a particular place you take the refuge to? Because I know that Okra is shut down in a couple of places these days. It's got to make it difficult for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, we use a dumpster service, so they take care of that.
Oh, nice. So you don't have to worry.
So they show up, take it away, and you're like,
Correct.
Next.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I like where your head's at.
Bring it to the next one.
Yeah, so you can concentrate more on the installation of the roof. Anything different since the last time we spoke? Architectural shingles, I always heard that phrase used years ago. Does everybody use architectural now? Or
for the most part, yeah.
And what's the difference between that, just for laymen to know the difference between the two?
Look is a big part of it.
But what is the look difference?
There's a profile on the shingle.
I see.
So the shingle has a couple of different elevations in it, so it gives a little bit of a profile.
Yeah. It looks a little richer.
Yeah, it stands off the roof a little more.
Okay.
Is there one style or color that is like 80% of the roofs, or is it really mixed up a bunch?
Anything in the black and grays is popular. It's majority of them are like a black and with a gray mix into it.
Right. So this time of year, people are like, how much is it for a roof? How much is it to fix my roof? So if someone reaches out to you, and here, I'll give your phone number now too. It's 920-7949, right? Is it the right number? If they're saying, hey, how much is a roof? How do you quote it? Because that's almost that's not a dumb question. It's an accurate question, but how do you figure out how much a roof is? Because there's what shingles and what size and what do you want?
Well, we use a software system that we have, and it takes aerial photos of the customer's roof, and it gives us all the measurements, and we use that to figure out the size, and from there we know what we need for materials.
High tech.
Which side of town you been working on lately?
We've been in Baldwinsville. We've been up in Palermo the last couple days. Down here in the city. A lot.
Yeah. Is there any place you don't go? I mean, you're like, we don't do Madison County, or I mean, is there any place that's not no? And there's not is there licensing in the different areas, or can you go anywhere?
No, we can go anywhere. We have to pull permits through the code in the cities wherever we're doing stuff out in Auburn or here in the city or Cicero. We have to pull permits for them, but that's all. To prove that we're a legit business.
Yeah. I know that you do some roof cleaning as well.
Yeah.
Does that dovetail with actually doing the roof, or do you do just some roof cleaning where you don't even replace a roof?
Yeah, we clean roofs where we don't replace them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you still have openings for that if somebody called you?
Yeah, we have openings for roofing and
And
roof
for-
siding, siding.
Yeah.
We also do siding.
that's right.
That's important to know. Yeah. Well, I had mentioned this to our guy Neil over at Prime Heating and Air, and I said that a lot of times service people, construction people, treat you kind of rudely. They treat to the general consumer. And I have made calls before on certain things, and they were like, well, you should have called me 6 months ago. And it's that kind of an attitude, like, we've got so much business. How dare you even bother me? You're not that way, right?
No, we would never do that. Every customer is important to us,
and
we treat every customer with respect, and the same respect we would hope to be treated with from our customers.
Yeah, I went by recently this last week. I went by. There was a house there, and the house next to it looked absolutely identical. It was like they were twins.
Really?
And I thought to myself, okay, do they have the same work? I kind of went down the road. Would they need a roof replaced at the same time? Would they sell? Actually, I thought, would they sell for the same price? They were like twins. So when you get into a neighborhood, if my roof is going down and I live next to Tommy, there's a good chance that his roof is probably timing out around the same. Do you find yourself in little pockets of areas? Clusters.
It's common. It's common. A lot of times, the houses in the area were built at the same time. So you see that quite a bit. Rarely do we go into a development and just do one.
Oh, okay.
Right. Is
that because they see you working and say, hey, how much for my roof? Or is that just because you're popular in those certain areas?
Yeah, it's a reminder to, it can be a reminder to the neighbors that, hey, our roof is, the same age, maybe we should look at having ours done.
Yeah, I remember back in the day up in Cicero time when, someone would get their driveway done. It was like, then they would end up doing all the other neighbors like, well, there's somebody here. It was, I don't know what it was with the driveway. So suddenly everybody's getting it done by some Italian, Tom. You'd be happy. I was always an Italian that was doing the driveway. So that kind of happens in roofs too.
Yeah, for sure it does.
When I was in the home improvement marketing business, they used to do door hangers a lot, and that was like 20-something years ago, where you'd be working in an area and then you put the door hangers on.
Why does that have to be 20-some years ago, Tom? We still use them.
No. I mean, right, and that's fine. I was just saying that for reference. I did that 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's common. We do. We'll if we get in an area and we see that there's a lot of roofs that are in the same condition, we'll flag the area.
Get out there,
and just as a reminder, hey, if you're interested, give us a call. If not,
And I know
here's some info for when you are.
Right, I know you do commercial roofs too. At that property, I saw that the roof you did down in Ithaca. That thing was like ginormous roof.
Right.
The Lottrell Hotel in Ithaca.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that was 10 times the size of a regular residential roof.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining if you can do that roof, you can do a residential roof.
Yeah, we're getting ready. We're actually doing a 70 square commercial building in Brewerton Sunday and Monday.
Okay.
Wow. 70
square. That's big? I don't.
That's big. A typical house is 20 square.
Okay, Tom, that's
20.
almost 4 times bigger, but I'm not going to make you do the
Well, tell
math.
people how they can get in touch with him and
talk to Shawn. Top Notch Roofing. CNY.com is the website, or just give them a call and say, hey, I don't know if I need a roof or not, but give me a quote, 920-7949. If you need a guy, have a guy. Anybody got a guy for roof? We got a guy. Shawn Dupree, 920-7949. Tom.